On his 60th birthday, our next guest decided to take a solo, completely unplugged kayak journey of 1,000 miles on Lake Superior. Tom Renkes joins us this morning. Share more about his amazing journey. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good, thank you, Ted.
Oh my goodness, 1,000 miles.
Yes.
How long did that take you?
2 months.
2 months?
2 months.
Not consecutively, right? You did sleep?
Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah.
You were paddling for 2 months, right?
It's a great color.
So why? Tell me the motivation behind this. Why did you decide to do this?
Sure. So many of my relatives have passed either before retirement or just at retirement.
Yeah.
And I said that's not going to happen to me. I want to do something to really put a stamp on turning 60. I have all my body parts. Everything's good, so I just decided to do it.
That was it.
That was it.
Health reasons.
Yeah.
And when we say, nothing better than longevity of life, I mean, that's a darn good reason to do something like that.
Yeah.
When it comes to, we say unplugged, how unplugged are we talking? How removed from society?
Sure. So I didn't have a smartphone, no GPS, no pad, no GoPro, no anything. I didn't even have a wristwatch. I simply would land and then I would make it work however I needed to make it work, whether that was finding food, whether that was finding a place to camp. I had no preconceived notion of what I would find on the shore.
And okay, I'm picturing me trying to pitch this to my wife. How did that play with your loved ones when you said, "I'm just going to disappear for 1,000 miles,
yeah,
and I'll just make it work"?
So they were used to it. I mean, they know I do these kinds of things. My wife said I was in the best shape mentally, physically, and emotionally to go.
Okay.
So I went. So she seemed really happy with it. I did do the will, the durable power of attorney. All that was happening. I had one son that was a little nervous. He said, "Please come back."
Please. I'm sure they were nervous
yeah.
for you. Absolutely. I mean, were there ever times when you're out on Lake Superior, which is a frigid lake? I mean, it is super cold up north there.
Yeah.
And did you ever find bad weather? Were you ever in danger?
Sure. So 2018 was some of the worst weather ever recorded on Lake Superior.
Oh, no.
So all those storms went right over me. So as I traversed the lake and the shore, there were shores that weren't there anymore. There were whole sides of forests that were tumbling into the lake. There were places I suspected I could camp that didn't exist anymore. So there were sometimes 30 and 50-mile kayak days just to find a place to stay.
So you had to kayak. I want to be clear on this.
Yes.
When you got into this kayak, you didn't have a map plotted out of where you were going to go.
So I did have maps. I had paper maps.
Okay.
My wife and I took a compass, and that's why when we say 1,000 miles, it's shore miles. It's not nautical miles.
Okay.
It's not road miles. It's literally every dip in the shore.
Okay.
So I did have maps with me. The funny story was when I took off at first from Grand Marais, Minnesota, the maps got left in my wife's car.
Okay.
So
oh, no.
yes, so I was really blind the first day, first few days, which was fine. I mean, you just manage. You're just out there and you just manage. Mm-hmm. She sent the maps to Silver Bay, so I was able to get to the post office and pick them up once I got down there, about the fourth, fifth day.
And you say they're used to this sort of thing. You're the adventurous type.
Yes. Yes.
This is something. This is old hat for you.
No, I've stared down grizzly bears. I got between a grizzly and my son in Alaska. Yeah.
Okay, so everyone's going to want to hear these stories.
Sure.
And the cool thing is they get to at the Cottage and Lakefront Living Show because you're going to be one of the speakers.
I am today at 1 o'clock.
All right, so this is happening today.
Yes, today at 1 and tomorrow at noon and Sunday at noon as well. So they'll see all the slides, all the adventures. I always warn people there's no real action shots because the weather was so bad and I was in some pretty tumultuous weather. Mm-hmm. It's not like I had a camera that I could keep up and take pictures with. So it's mostly stories and quiet pictures.
Hey, I'm all about that. It feels like you're gathering around the campfire hearing some great stories.
Yeah, exactly.
When people come to this and they hear you speak about these adventures and these journeys that you take, do you share these stories to motivate them? Or what do you want people to take away from your experiences?
So the biggest thing to take away from this is to be mindful, because on that trip and as we age, you have to be mindful of every moment, every paddle stroke, every time you land. If you take a moment off, you're in danger. If a wave catches you the wrong way, if you hit the shore the wrong way, if there's rocks in front of you, you literally have to be mindful every moment. And so many people are so wired in, they're not mindful of the moment. They simply go through the day and they go, what happened today?
Right.
what went on
Or the
today.
day happened to them.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So it's really about being mindful, and as we age, take advantage of every moment you got.
Wow, and you certainly are doing that, Tom.
I am.
That's
I
an amazing journey, and I can't wait to hear more about it. Tom, thanks for joining us this
Oh, well,
morning.
thank you very much, Todd.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
I
it.
literally could sit here and talk to you for the next hour because I'm
And
sure
it takes that long.
you got lots of stories. Cottage and lakefront shows when you can hear some of these stories, as you heard, March 25th. That's today, tomorrow, and the 27th. You've got all weekend. As you heard, Tom will be there today at 1, and tomorrow I do believe, and Sunday at noon.
Correct.
For those. So go check him out. grcottageshow.com.